actual tip for Minecraft. If you catch fire, keep moving, because when you move, the fire gets put out faster than if you just stand there taking the fire damage. Okay, I need to know if this is true, so here are two tests. I'm going to light myself on fire, I'm going to stand in it for a full second or so, and see how many ticks it burns me afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay, 7 ticks is how many it burns me for. If I run out of the fire, then stand still. Whereas if we stand in the fire for a second, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 ticks regardless, it seems. Once you are standing in the fire, running around might make it feel like it's going out faster, but there's only one true way to guarantee you don't take damage, and let me show you what that is. You quickly, before the 7 ticks are up, jump into some water, and then that will put out the fire. Boom, now you know. It's funny, that one sounded like it could have been true. I was on the fence until I actually saw it, because it would make some sense that standing around would leave the fire on you. But apparently it doesn't make any sense, and you'd be silly to think it does. Anyway, hello, I'm AppyX This is Q&A Saturday, the weekly series where I answer your questions, and this one isn't even a question, but Minecraft devs are lazy are something I've been hearing a lot, which does feel true when you hear that the last snapshot or preview we saw was on the 13th of December, and there's not going to be one until a couple of weeks into January. That is a full month gap, not from releasing Minecraft updates, but from shipping anything whatsoever that the public can actually look at, which is a really long time, and that probably is a development process. However, whenever you say devs are lazy, I mean, first of all, that's an opinion, it has to be clear, right? You have no idea what they're doing every day, but the more important thing to say is that it's definitely not developers who are lazy. There are so many, middle management, there's upper management, there's like at Mojang CEO specifically, there are many people involved in the chain who specifically have the job of what you're probably upset about, and so if you are upset about it, it's probably them who are to blame, whereas developers, I assume they're working real hard, and maybe, the coordination isn't there. Maybe, like a lot of features get worked on and we don't get to see them in the end. That was something in Minecraft Dev hinted last week that like, yeah, 50 features in an update get worked on, only 5 make it to development. What the true answer is obviously hard to go through, but I think it's the equivalent of yelling at the cashier at McDonald's because you don't like the price of a Big Mac. Technically, yes, they are demanding that higher price from you, but they're not doing it out of their own, like desire to get more Big Mac money from you. Minecraft developers would love to ship more Minecraft features, so why isn't that happening is a fun question for whoever is actually in charge of those releases. Speaking of those releases, we've been talking about parity quite a lot in the last few weeks, which is why it's so interesting to read this question from Gage Lamb, who says, does anyone actually really specifically care about parity in and of itself? Just for the principle of parity? I don't think so, and you might think the answer is no, but it's been repeated many times by many people, honestly, Minecraft fans included, and the reason that Microsoft has been going so heavily on this since they acquired Mojang in 2015 is because of this precise conversation. Oh man, I love Minecraft so much. I'm actually gonna play it when I get home. Have you played this Minecraft? Oh yeah, I love Minecraft too, man. It's definitely one of the coolest games. Yeah, when I got home, I was actually thinking of making a beetroot farm for the first time. Like, I know it's a weird resource, but I wanted to collect as much of it as I could. Oh, you like to play modded Minecraft? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like to use the Optifine and Hexit sometimes, but I'm more of a vanilla guy mostly. Like, it's cool. You can play Minecraft your way. No, I'm playing vanilla Minecraft. I'm playing the game as it is. I just like beetroot, the crops that you find in villages. Are you just calling potatoes the wrong thing? Is that the joke here? Am I meant to laugh? Ha 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 ha. No, there are potatoes in the game as well. I just like to use beetroots. They're a quirky different thing. In fact, here's my farm design that I like to use. Haha, you're such a noob. You don't even know the resources in the game, and you also wouldn't know that farm wouldn't work because the tiling would be too far away. You're such an idiot. What you want to do, if you want to get a good farm going on that maybe you never tried, is you build on top of the nether, and you can get nothing else spawning up there. It's the best way to farm gold. Okay, dude, you're the one playing with mods now. There's no way to build on top of the nether. I think you're mistaken. I'm definitely playing Minecraft. It says right there that it's Minecraft. I think you're an idiot, my man. Oh, you think I'm the idiot? Your mum thinks I'm a real sweet shit. Anyway, it's funny because that conversation can be resolved with parity, where both games would behave the same in all circumstances, so you could attack something the same on both platforms, or you could have a torch in your offhand on both platforms, as opposed to just some items on one and all of the items on the other. There's so many weird differences. You can fix the differences individually, or you can just admit, yeah, there are two slightly different versions of Minecraft. Here is what the difference list is going to be. Make it a publicly available list, and then you can always try and shorten it if you want to. And that's the much easier solution to the problem of having two games developed at different times by different people for different platforms in different languages. But you know, that's just me saying that. Maybe perpetually moving towards one Minecraft is really good because all the Java, people will say play Minecraft, and then other people can pick up Bedrock, and they probably wouldn't even spot the difference. Although, again, YouTube tells us that people do spot the difference, and it's a very big problem. Speaking of very big problems, I think it's a little sad that a lot of the old seeds for Bedrock don't work anymore. Here's another fun trade-off I wanted to talk about, because, I guess it's the end of the year, there's no Minecraft updates, so let's talk about the fundamental issues that Minecraft has. One of them is that every time they want to add something new in an update that generates naturally in the world, all of the old seeds won't have that, and all of the new seeds will. If that is a new biome that has to replace existing biomes, every single biome is fundamentally going to be moved around. Is this a good thing for Minecraft to add new biomes and make seeds fresh every so often, and that way, there are new options? Or should they be minimizing the number of times they change the seeds? Because wouldn't it be amazing if you could watch a seed video from even a year ago and know that same seed would work? Because I don't think you can do that right now. And especially if you go back 5 years, those seeds are going to have no resemblance whatsoever, and it's kind of a shame because some of the best seeds in history are only available in specific versions. It's it's one of those things where there are trade-offs on both sides. What are your opinions on it? Because my opinion is like, wow, that is a crazy thing. Speaking of a crazy thing, by the way, I wanted to share a tweet that I made. Wow, this is Q&A Saturday, but I'm just sharing my own tweets because I have a housemate, as I've mentioned, someone who, a lodger. They rent a room in my house, and they mentioned that, like, my boss is working me real hard for expecting me to work at 6 a.m. And I thought that was funny because obviously I did an 18-hour stream, started at Christmas Eve at 11 a.m., ran until 6 a.m. on Christmas Day. It was ridiculously long, but I've been getting comments like this one from GameAddict saying, where is part 2? And I was wondering, should I make part 2 public as well? I made part 1 public so people can find that, and then I figured that people would just find part 2 in the link in the description, but a lot of people have been missing it, so I think that we should publish that second part. But I think if we're going to do that, we'll make a slightly different thumbnail and try and link it in some way. So do you think that's a good idea, or do you think that it should be that, like, yeah, find part 1, why would you need to find part 2? Because I do admit, I have sometimes watched part 2 of YouTube videos without ever watching part 1. It's just quite rare, right? Speaking of quite rare, let's talk about diamonds, because Glenn asks, so based on your theory, when will they find the true use for diamonds? They're too ubiquitous, and unless you're clumsy, you don't need many, but get thousands of them in a long-term survival. I mean, diamonds, to be fair, they have so many uses, it's just a lot of those uses are replicated elsewhere, but you could still argue that with the diamonds being usable for enchantment tables, they're really valuable for the early game. I like to have an enchantment table. I made it in each of my attempts at 100 days in UHC, which I totally survived, by the way, in this 18-hour ridiculous mess that you can watch. I'm just going to keep self-promoting that. I worked 18 hours on it. Am I allowed to talk about it? Anyway, so I think that obviously I made an enchantment table in every single run I did because it was important, but also I think that diamond blocks being this like flex item is something a lot of people do value, and if you can trade for tools, maybe it's good to make those flex blocks, or if you want, you could just ignore villages and go the entire diamond mining route, which, let's be fair, 50% of Minecraft players probably do. So, yeah, is that actually a problem? I don't think it is, solely because diamonds have such a legacy in Minecraft, and so many people are going to see diamonds as the thing you mine in the ground, even though there are other ways to get them. Speaking of other ways to get things, Foxalytical XD kind of comes back to this like Minecraft developer point, because they say concept art is not a commitment, in quotes. Well, you've committed enough to even make the concept art in the first place. Basically, you either lie to my face or you're unknowingly speaking gibberish. And honestly, I don't think concept art does necessarily need to be a commitment if it was something they shared more often, right? If there was a lot of concept art for various things that didn't come to be, then that would be really cool to see. Because we have seen the concept art for, say, the Warden, and wow, it was going to look so different. It was, I honestly went through so many different phases, and they're all very wacky compared to the finished product. And so honestly, I don't think concept art has to be a commitment, but when you show concept art only one time for a particular feature, to me that says, yeah, we haven't put this in a even trial version of the game yet, but it's something we do intend to include in the update. All you have to say is it's not a commitment, we can cancel features whenever we want, as, they moved the Warden from 1.17 to 1.18 to 1.19. They said they were going to make the fletching table in 1.15 and then 1.16 and then who knows where else. It's okay to delay features. I mean, it's not ideal, it's not my favorite thing, but yeah, to just say that like, oh, that was never planned, why are you asking about that? Ha 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 ha, stop asking please, is kind of the opposite way, and what leads to people being very confused because they're given a signal by Minecraft and then Minecraft goes, bad, how dare you receive that signal. It's like if you pretend you like someone all day and then when they go to kiss you, you're like, whoa, 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 I don't like you. How crazy of you to think that. And if you do that to enough people on MASH, you're going to confuse them a little bit. Speaking of being confused, Octo says, honestly, adding biological sex to Minecraft for some animals wouldn't be something I'd hate all that much. I know most people would probably hate it, but it would kind of indirectly buff farms. Since beef/pork have always been the most optimal foods, if animals have biological sex, you can't just breed a bajillion cows in a box. It would make it significantly harder. On top of that, I think bulls, roosters, boars would be fun additions to Minecraft, and honestly, actually, I'm totally aboard of this idea right now. Like, if you say that, like, yeah, making farms more interesting would be, like, you'd have to actually specifically look for a rooster, you'd have to specifically look for a bull, and you'd have to have them kept in separate pens to your other cows and maybe bring them together. It would make farms more complex, more interesting, and honestly, more engaging to create and more satisfying when you've done it fully because you'd have, a ridiculous amount of both types of animal. However, I think the ultimate reason why they won't touch these old mechanics, the reason why a turtle looks like this and a cow looks like this, is because Minecraft is very skeptical of touching older textures and older game mechanics, because just like with the diamonds, even though the best way to find diamonds now is to trade for them, most people who come into the game after a 10-year gap are going to do what they used to know best. Minecraft kind of has to bear in mind that most of the new players that it gets are going to be old players that saw the game played a while ago, and so they kind of have to make a game that is backwards compatible with people's expectations of it. Is that a good thing for the game? Sometimes yes, sometimes not yes, but it's an interesting thing, right? Speaking of interesting things, region-specific events would be interesting, even if they're a pain to implement. This is obviously my podcast where I spoke about Christmas events. Also, give Bedrock players seasonal events they've suffered enough. So first of all, I meant if you're going to have regional events, make them for everyone. Like, have a Diwali special to teach the world about Diwali. Minecraft loves to have these big inclusive events, like maybe candles have double as high fires, to celebrate, or, like maybe you could just make a brand new item to celebrate each of these events. You can be super great for each of these different cultures, like celebrate all of the world, but make it something everyone could do, and then that way everyone is getting these fun seasonal things. I think that could be fun by itself, but also give Bedrock players seasonal events. Yes, this is the most confusing point of parity. They're already getting to the point where they're like, yeah, we need to ruin the look of Shattered Savannas on Bedrock, and we need to change the way fire works so it matches Java, but they haven't gotten around to just, oh yeah, on the 24th and 25th of December, maybe chests should change texture. How hard could that be by comparison to destroying the Shattered Savannah, an actually light feature? I don't actually know if there's like some ideological reason they're not doing it, because that's the only reason I can think of for not doing something that looks, from the outside, so simple. By the way, speaking of things that look so simple, who cares what Mojang is adding to Minecraft when we get an IBX ToyCat Christmas present off a 17-hour stream? I have to say, the 17-hour stream was one of the most exhausting things I've ever done, but it's kind of convinced me that I bet I could actually stream for 8 hours in a row if I really tried to. I said this idea kind of jokingly, like, what if I played Minecraft 9 to 5 every day in a week? Kind of like a 40-hour work week, but it's streaming Minecraft. I want to do that as a little bit of a test. I think I'm going to be doing that this next week, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., although actually I wake up quite late, so midday until about 8 p.m. I think it could be fun to play Minecraft, and that would give me some room to work on my really big projects. I want to convert my Mesa biome into stairs. I don't know why, I just really want to. I bet with 8 hours in a day I could really make progress on that stuff, and so yeah, I think it could be a lot of fun, and also maybe it could be a way to make some big 100-day style videos on a much more frequent basis, because if you are, as we proved, it takes 17 hours to make a 100-day video, so if I just stream Minecraft for 40 hours in a week, and, like 34 of those hours are split between two worlds, then, technically I could make 2 100-day videos if I then work an extra bunch of hours to put those together. This is a terrible idea, but that's why I wanted to do it and see how it actually goes. Speaking of seeing how it actually goes, I used to watch your stuff when I was little. Can't believe you're still here, man, says Stream Sundoos. What's crazy to me is I feel like I used to make those things that you watched when you were little when I was little, and obviously, you're probably referring to way younger. What's crazy to me is going in certain YouTube comment sections, like, I watched the Keyboard Cat video again today. We can't show that because of copyright claims, but in the comments, people are like, I used to watch this when I was 6, and it's like, whoa, what happened in your life where where you found this stuff. And sometimes people are like, yeah, I'm like 16 now. I've been watching you since the early days of Minecraft console. And I'm like, man, you watched Minecraft console edition videos when you were 8? You watched me rambling about diamond mining or, you know, my opinion on presidential elections or whatever, weird, wacky things from back then when I was that young. It's all so crazy that this has gone on for so long. But I want to kind of end this video by saying thank you so much, not only for allowing me to do silly things like start streaming Minecraft on a 9-to-5 basis, but also I want to thank you all for allowing me to do this for so many years. A lot of YouTube channels do exist for 5+ years, but they definitely fade away after a few of them. Like, hey, the peak of a YouTube channel is usually just a few years long. So for me to have been making videos for 13 years and daily videos for 10 years is something I'm so appreciative of, that you've all been supporting this entire way on this weird journey. Thank you so much. And 2023, I hope, is not the final year of it. I am intending, I have a lot of work here to do when it comes to teaching people about Minecraft. I have a lot that's still to be said when it comes to the weird ramblings or philosophical things that come while I'm doing the Let's Plays. And I think I have a lot of Minecraft projects that I'd still like to share on the internet. And I hope that this next year is the year of being able to do all of those things. I look forward to joining you on this new adventure. And hopefully in 2023, we finally hit 2 million subscribers, huh? I think once we hit 2 million, I can kind of be done with the idea of subscribers, because yeah, obviously it's more important that you watch the videos regularly, or if you are subscribed, that you hit the bell. But I think I'd like to have 2, so I can be like, yeah, look at this lifetime accomplishment. You can never take it away from me. And speaking of never taking things away from me, I have to take the microphone away so I can say thank you for watching. Happy New Year, everyone, and I'll see you in 2023, unless I die in a terrible accident tonight. Goodbye. This is a fact that probably won't help anyone watching the video, but did you know that turtles can burn to death? They've got a lot of health, apparently.